Palace, they're plus 115 at home, hosting Wolverhampton, who just beat Nottingham Forest, plus 240. The draw here is plus 230. This one you can boil down to this statement. Crystal Palace closed as a plus 105 favorite against Leeds last week at home. Leeds are better than Wolves. I think it's pretty simple here. I like Palace. Back on the Palace after almost not seeing the light. Anthony helped widen my eyes that this team is fine. Their last since their schedule lightened up for Crystal Palace, the last two games, 1.8 expected goals against total. Leeds and Leicester City. You could say Wolves are basically right in that realm as well. Meanwhile, Wolverhampton, their last 4 matches, 5.7 expected goals allowed. And they were lucky to beat Nottingham Forest according to expected goals. So this team is still not impressive. I think Palace are, a couple tiers ahead of them at home where they do their best work. I'll be on Patrick Vieira and his Eagles once again. BJ, anything here?
Yeah, I like both teams to score no at minus 115. I mean, Palace, 2 straight matches held an opponent under 1 expected goal.
They're back.
Hopefully their defense head in the right direction. A whole lot of nothing happening in that Leicester match at early in the morning. Really glad I woke up to watch that. But yeah, it's interesting. The last match against Leicester, offensively, it's kind of concerning for Crystal Palace because you only create 0.3 XG against a Leicester City defense that's been one of the worst in the Premier League to start the season. Granted, obviously they've underperformed pretty drastically, but last 5 matches, Palace only created 4 expected goals and 2 big scoring chances. The flip side of that is Wolves. I mean, they're still, essentially what they were last year offensively, which is really, really, really bad. Like you mentioned it, Michael, if the penalty didn't happen against Forest, they would have only created 0.5 XG against, statistically right now, the worst defense in the Premier League. Their highest XG on a non-penalty shot against Forest was 0.12. It's now been 5 straight matches for Wolves that they have not created a big scoring chance or created 1 expected goal from open play. And last season, when they played Palace dominated them both meetings, beat them 2-0 at both venues. And Wolves is only able to get a total of 17 shots and 0.7 XG against Palace's defense. And really what it boils down to is, do you really think Wolves can break down Crystal Palace's low block? I don't think so. I mean, Wolves, yes, they're getting up there an expected threat. They're getting the ball into the box. Traore created, got the ball into the box against Nottingham Forest, but Wolves just can't do anything with final third possession. They're just going to be taking a lot of low quality chances, probably from outside the box against Palace. And we're going to have to bet on essentially, or we're going to have to hope that the variance goes our way, like Anthony mentioned off the top. So yeah, I have both teams score no projected at minus 162. So I think there's a ton of value on this current line of minus 115.
I'll present a little bit of a case that I have a little bit of a concern about Palace for the first time this season. They only completed 4 passes into the penalty area against Leicester.
Yep.
Not great.
Yep.
Only 14 touches in the attacking penalty area against Leicester, 16 against Leeds. You can go back to early in the season. Remember the Arsenal match at home, how dominant they were for the large majority of that match. They completed 30. They had 31 attacking penalty area touches and then 31 in the dominant win against Villa. Even in the draws against Brentford and Newcastle, 20 and 22. So yes, Palace have covered for me in the last 2 games. They beat the market spread in those games, beating Leeds and getting the draw when they were, plus a quarter against Leicester. But I will be watching that, and I will be passing this match. Wolves can, I think they have the better passing unit right now, and that's a little bit concerning in a game where I need to get margin with Palace, where their attack has just not been the same. I do expect the defense to continue to be excellent. We saw that in the last 2 matches, conceding less than 1 expected goal. Impressive. But I think that the attack is something we need to watch because we're not getting enough of a sample beyond the Big 6, right? They played 4 Big 6 opponents. That's a lot. But we also now have 5 games against non-Big 6 and Newcastle. You can kind of debate where they should be. But that's a sample that suggests that Newcastle should now, or Palace should be better than 19th in passing to the penalty area at this point in the season.